What's up, YouTube? It's your boy RushMoreRick, and today we are reacting to men are crashing out over the 9 to 5 scam. I don't know about y'all, but I work a job, and I highly relate to this, so let's tap in.
Clocking in. I hate talking to managers. I hate having meetings. I hate having coworkers. I hate everything about having a job.
Somebody tell me how to make
That boy told no lies in a video 9 seconds in. What the fuck?
300,000 in a week. Listen,
I don't know what's wrong with y'all folks. Well, y'all be seeing this shit where you saying 300,000 a week. Yeah.
All I know is it ain't working for me.
For the most part, we was all taught the same thing. Be a good kid, go to school, get good grades, go to college so you can get a really good job. This was the universal route of success for most of us. But now we're adults and people are really sick and tired of living the life that we was told was the path to success. And they're regretting ever listening to that advice. And because of this realization, this is creating confusion between generations. Check this out.
Somebody tell me how to make 300,000 in a week. Listen,
I don't know what's wrong with y'all folks. Well, y'all be seeing this shit where you saying 300,000 a week. Well, y'all saying this shit. You know personally that's making 300,000.
I don't.
Exactly.
You know why?
Why?
Because y'all ass. Y'all should have been figuring that shit out. Changing the trajectory of the family. But instead, you know what y'all was doing? At McDonald's. Making fries and shit. Learn how to make fucking nuggets and shit.
Yeah, but the thing is I'm trying to show you the way to do it better. See, I didn't get past the fries and the nuggets.
But see, look, and that's... How can you say you trying to show us the way to do it better? You didn't get past the fries and shit, but the only thing y'all telling us is go to school so you don't end up in my situation. All right, and if after I go to school, then what? Then what?
I didn't think high level, like getting to manager level. I was just
That's not high level, bro. That's some basic shit.
No, I'm saying I got comfortable at the fries.
So that's your thing, fries. Making fries for 30 years.
Yeah, but that's what I got comfortable with. But I'm telling you now that I know better, go to the next level. Go to management.
It's so crazy to hear two
And he's saying go to manager. Nigga, no. The goal shouldn't be the fast food chain pipeline. But I get what he's saying. He's not just trying to limit it to fast food. What he's trying to say is I got comfortable at being at the bottom of the totem pole. Being at the bottom of this totem pole helped me take care of my family enough. Yes, we weren't rich. We weren't the most affluent. We didn't have the most, but I was able to cover my bills, cover my family bills, take care of my kids. But our generation, Gen Z, we're starting to see that the 9 to 5 scam, the society that we're in, having a full-time fast food job doesn't even cover the basic necessities. We're trying to strive for more or avoid that entirely because, you know, when you're in that 9 to 5 grind, you're not really working towards anything. You're working to cover the week. You're working to cover the week, and then the week after that, within that bi-weekly pay period, and then it just starts over, and it starts over, and it starts over. It's like a never end. You're like literally a guinea pig on a wheel. It doesn't end.
different generations have this conversation, and I think about myself. I have similar conversations with people in my family. In that video, the older gentleman was saying, listen, don't just be an employee. I want you to want more for yourself. Be the manager. Be the person that's in control. The younger dude is saying, I want to own the whole McDonald's. It's two different mindsets that this generation has versus the older generation.
Exactly.
But then you may ask yourself, like, well, why did the older generation like that? The young dude said, well, why didn't y'all put us in better positions? I feel like the older generation did exactly what they knew to do. We, in the age of social media and information, the amount of information that we're getting right now, back in the day, they either had to read a book or see it in an encyclopedia. And if they had to read a book, that means that somebody else had to put it in a book and was okay with other people getting that same information. See, what you don't realize is that a lot of people that were successful back in the day, they were taught by their granddads, they were taught by their fathers, because success was passed down to them. If you had nobody to pass success down to you verbally, it was going to be a lot harder for you back in the day than it is now.
Am I the only one who wants to just quit my job, maybe buy a minivan or buy an old car, and just hop in the car and just simply travel and just see the world, man?
Nah, you're not the only one. I want to do that too, boss man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Like, am I the only one who simply just wants to see life and experience life and not be caught up in this rat race for the rest of my life.
See, and I feel like it's endearing to me that a lot of people are starting to wake up, and I'm kind of proud and happy to live in this time period, because hopefully maybe not now, but maybe in my 30s and 40s, we see a change where work isn't mandatory just to feel like you're living, because working now is surviving for most people. Unless you're making 6 figures a fucking month and you have enough to cover everything and then have money left over on the back end, I feel like that's the only opportunity you have to really experience and enjoy life. Because other than that, the regular everyday working person is just working and then going home. They're not experiencing, they're not living, they're not traveling, they're not spending as much time with friends and family as I'm sure they wish they could be. And all this is because either you're working so much, or when you're not working, you're tired as fuck from working, so you don't really want to do anything. It's like these jobs beat you down and they beat the life out of you, when it shouldn't even be like that. It shouldn't be that way.
You know, we pay bills, we pay taxes, and we work hard, and we bust our behinds for these jobs, but it's like, is that it? We just work, pay bills, pay taxes, work, pay bills, pay taxes,
rinse and repeat,
sit in traffic. Is that it?
Exactly.
Is this all there is to life?
And it kind of make it worse. I'm sorry to keep pausing, and I'm not really sorry to keep pausing because I want to get my shit off. But it make it a little worse for some people, because a lot of people work so hard, but they don't really got enough, like they don't got anything to show for it. They don't have, oh, I'm working my butt off, at least let me go get a super duper nice car. No, that's too expensive. I'm working my butt off, maybe I could get me a super duper nice house. No, too expensive. I'm working my butt off, let me see if I could get me some nice fashionable clothes, so when I'm fucking, who knows when I'm able to go out, maybe once in a blue moon, I have something nice to wear. Even in today's society, it feels like a fucking crime to just spoil yourself and buy nice clothes, because you know that money could be put to somewhere else, like a bill, like your gas, your food, your other finances that you're like, this shit is crazy.
I can't be the only one who sits back and wonders sometimes, like, this is not, like, this can't be real life. Like, it's no way. We were sold a lie. The American dream is a lie.
It is.
It is no way it should be this difficult to survive in the land of the free and the home of the brave. This is incredible to me. I don't understand. So sometimes I think, man, I just want to quit, hop in the car or hop in the minivan or something, and just travel. Like, I mean, life is going to pass us by anyway. What do we got to lose? And I'm not saying let's just have a mass walkout of mass.
But I feel like you should be saying that. Somebody needs to say that. There needs to be a mass walkout. There needs to be a mass shutdown, a mass something where people, the everyday working people that actually get this country running, because this country runs on the backs of everyday working people. Without those people, this country would not be able to fucking function. So if we have a mass shutdown of people not wanting to report to jobs, not wanting to we just say, all right, we're fed up. Let's get new conditions. We need new working conditions. If we have something like that, a revolution, some may say, we can put something in place that makes life actually livable, not survivable, livable.
Walk out at our jobs. I mean, if it happens, it is what it is, but it's just like, there has to be something more than this, right? It can't just be work, pay bills, pay taxes, right?
I never understood how people can hate their jobs so much, but have a retirement plan to do it for 20 years. Like, you're going to be doing that job for 20 years, but you hate your job so much. Like, there's nothing in life that I hate doing that I plan on still doing it for 20 more years. Like, really wrap your mind around that real quick. Like, you hate waking up. You hate the whole experience of going to work and sacrificing 8 hours out of your day, but you have a plan to do it so you can retire. And the craziest thing about retirement is that once you retire, you're getting a portion of what you used to make while you were physically working, and your retirement money does not go up as inflation goes up. In other words, my grandma actually told me this. The money that she made when she retired probably like 15 years ago is the same exact money that she's making today from her retirement, which is why a lot of retired people have to keep on working. You know how much more expensive things are versus they were 15 years ago? So what good is her retirement money? Instead of working a job that you don't like for 20 years, why not make it a means to an end? I don't get that for the life of me.
Am I the only one that doesn't see the point of this anymore? Trading your
And he's saying that he doesn't get that people are putting so much time into jobs that they hate. My nigga, a lot of people don't have a fucking choice. If you did not go to school, like I'm talking about college, but it's a lot of people who didn't graduate high school, didn't go to college. A lot of jobs nowadays are requiring bachelor's degrees when you don't even fucking need a bachelor's degree. It's not a lot of entry level positions that are just hiring like this all willy nilly. It's not. So a lot of people, that first job that they get, they latch on to it because they know how hard it is to get a job in today's economy. You want to stay there because you feel like you have something. You may not love it. And that's one of the things that my grandmom told me. She spent years in a pretzel factory that she fucking hated. But at the same time, she said, I will never love any job. But the job, I know that I need a job. I know I need my job. My job paid the bills. Her job paid some of my family's bills. Her job put toys under my family's Christmas trees, my cousin's Christmas trees. Like, that job, you may not love it, and some people will never love working, but at the same time, they need to work because you need to survive. So it's like I can understand. I can align myself with the mindset of a person who's doing something for so long that they don't like or they don't love, just for the simple fact that it puts food on the table. Like, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. It's fucked up, but you do.
time for money. So I'm supposed to give you 8 hours of my day for 5 days a week for the rest of my life.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that's not comfortable with living 20 years of my life having to ask another human being that God put on this earth, walks and has 2 legs just like me, 2 eyeballs just like me. I gotta ask this person, hey, can I go on vacation this weekend with my family? I just need the Friday to the Monday. Or can I get Monday to Wednesday? Like, do you mind if I just want to go out of town? My daughter's on spring break and I want to enjoy a little bit of time with my daughter. And they look at me and they say, oh, I'm sorry, right now is not a good time because it's peak season and we really need you. Whole time, if something was to happen to me, they would replace me the next day. My job will be at the job fair the next day. But I have to miss out on valuable time because I'm making somebody else rich. I want to just paint a picture for y'all real quick, all right? Every single job, every corporation, every sign, everything you see on your way once you leave your house, it all manifested from somebody else's thoughts, right? Even this hat that I'm wearing, this shirt that I'm wearing, this chain, the lights behind me, this pillow, everything is from somebody else's idea. With that idea, that person put it into action. It slowly grew into something that you now can see. That human being now needed somebody else to pull the strings for them. They could go live the life that they actually want to live with their time. But the only way they can do that is by making you sacrifice your time so they can have more time. Meanwhile, you have to beg somebody at work for 3 days of free time. When you work a 9 to 5, at least an hour of traffic just getting home. By the time you're home, you're too tired to do anything, and now you're preparing for the next day. So your whole life is really working. Exactly. You spend more time with your coworkers than you do with your wife or your husband or your kids. Not speaking down on nobody that loves their job and they love going to their 9 to 5. I'm not mad at you. But if you hate your job, but you sit here and tell yourself you're going to be doing 20 years, or maybe you didn't tell yourself you're going to do 20 years, but you're not seeing it as a means to an end, or you're putting some type of action into it being an end, I just want to wake you up.
Motherfuckers always asking me my dream job like I just like working. Bitch, I hate working.
That's one of the questions I fucking hate. Like, what is your dream job? Like, I never understood that. Like, I don't judge people when they actually have an answer to that question, but it's like the older I got, and then people start talking about careers and what do you want to do for the rest of my life? I gotta work for the rest of my life. I gotta have this shit chose. Like, I gotta work towards what? You know what I'm saying? I gotta work towards what goal, what purpose. I don't have a dream job. Like, I never did. That's one of the questions I hated the most.
People all the time, bro. My dream job is to not have a job. I hate clocking in. I hate talking to managers.
Facts.
I hate having meetings.
Facts.
I hate having coworkers.
Facts.
I hate everything about having a job. I hate having to wait on a paycheck.
Facts.
I hate this shit. I really hate this shit. I hate working this job. I hate working a job. I tell people this shit all the time. I don't want a job. I don't want a job. I want to act, I want to rap, because shit like that, it don't feel like a job. I want to do shit that doesn't feel like a job. It don't feel like a job. I got to wake up in the morning and swipe a card, or I got to get on Chronos and log in, get on ADT, log in. I got to motherfucking receive a call from my manager and be like, hey, did you do this? I don't want to hear none of this shit. I'm tired of this shit on my mama. I'm 2 seconds away, 2 milliseconds away from slapping my manager, my boss, and all my coworkers. I swear to God, and whoever own this company, and whoever own a company. I swear to God, I hate working. We always get underpaid. And it's so crazy because your job not really your job, it's just your turn, because at the end of the motherfucking day, they can fire you whenever the fuck they want to. If they getting low on business, they can fire you and they gonna call it a layoff, because of course you able to get unemployment if they, they call it a layoff. But I'm just saying, like, your job is not really your job, it's just your fucking turn.
Exactly.
You can be down bad on your ass and you really need to work overtime and you can't even fucking work overtime. You don't even got a job no more. You don't even fucking know because they low on business right now. But I don't like this shit. I don't like this shit. I don't like this shit. And I really hate the fact that I gotta depend on this shit right now. But one day, I'm not gonna need to depend on this shit. One day, I'm not gonna need to depend on this shit and deal with these stinking ass customers, deal with these stinking ass managers, deal with these stinking ass coworkers. I just hate it.
And some of y'all may be watching that video and it's like, brother, people been doing this for generations to come. We've been hating jobs, and that's just
and that's supposed to make it okay. I feel like the generation before ours, a lot of the elders, they always say like we late, like, the main reason why people don't want to work a 9 to 5 is because people are getting lazier. Some cases that may be true. Some instances that may be true. There's a lot of lazy motherfuckers coming up nowadays. But at the same time, a lot of the people, go talk to somebody who works like in some of these just blue collar jobs. They don't want to do this shit, but they know they have to do this shit. This shit is like a fucking scam. It is a scam. And then a lot of people, eyes are opening up to that because you spend so much time at the job around people that you got to put a fake face around. You got to put a fake smile around. You got to always be happy when talking to your managers. You got to always be yes, sir, no, sir. Your coworkers always fucking annoying as shit. Not all of them, but some of them are. It's just like, it's just so much that goes into working a job that doesn't pay you enough, that doesn't support you enough, that doesn't want the fun, a livable lifestyle. Like, that shit, it becomes physically draining, depending on where you work. It becomes emotionally draining, mentally draining. Like, the job, it almost feel like it's killing you slowly, but it's killing you. You know what I'm saying?
What a man gotta do. I don't believe that a man has to hate his life in order to support his family. I do not attest to that at all. And just because something is normalized doesn't mean you have to live it. If you see your current job as a business partner instead of the lord of your bills, on whether or not your bills get paid, you'll be able to breathe a lot better. Let me explain that to you. Listen, most people
But I'm gonna let him explain. But keep in mind, he says see your job as a business partner.
Work a job that they don't like because they have to pay their bills. So if you had other means to pay your bills, you would not need that job. I'm gonna tell y'all a little story about me. I was once fired from a job, and when I got fired from that job, it was a real eye-opening moment because I honestly got fired for something that I think was pretty dumb, but they did fire me. And although I was really pissed off at the time, like, dang, I got fired, you could probably go on YouTube on my old channel and search Ty Boogie got fired. You'll find a video of me like sad. I was about to start screen pressing shirts and everything. You can go find this video on YouTube. It ain't no cap, not me and my rap. You know what I mean? But me getting fired taught me a valuable life lesson early on. And the lesson was that job had way too much power over me. The job determined what I eat. The job determined where I was able to sleep. It determined how I look, what kind of fun I'm able to have. It determined all of that. So once I got fired from my job, I realized, dang, I was only that person that I was while I had the job because I had that job. Like, think about it real quick. Think about your life before getting your raise. Think about your life before getting that new position. You were a completely different person. You couldn't go out to the club with your friends. You couldn't go to the bar with your friends. You couldn't be out here dating. You couldn't drive that car. You couldn't live in that nice place you live in right now. You couldn't really support your kids. You are a completely different person when you don't have that job. Therefore, that person that's allowing you to have that job has all the power over your life, because one day they could just walk in, look at you and be like, you know what? I don't like how he has 2 dimples instead of just 1. Let me find a reason to fire him. And now you're gone. And just off of that one decision of that person wanting to fire you, your whole life changes. So after I got fired from that job, I went to driving Lyft. I was driving Lyft until I could finally find another job. But I told myself that if I was to ever get another job, I would have a plan to never give a job that level of power over me ever again.
All right, so before we get to the next part of his video, though, he said you want to see your job as a business partner, but I don't see how that's logical when shit, if I'm doing work and my job is my business partner, where's the 50-50 split? Where's the equality? Where's the, okay, your turn now. Your turn to pick up these fucking boxes and put them on a pallet. It's your turn to do these routes and these deliveries. It's your turn to fax this paperwork. It's like, I'm doing all the hard labor and the company is reaping all the rewards. They're reaping the returns, the major profits, the acknowledgement, the praise. You can't. I feel like it's impossible as an everyday worker to see your job as a business partner when you're getting the shit end of the stick 100% of the time. 100% of the time. That's terrible. That's terrible grammar, by the way. Worked his whole life.
Why you show up to work if you're tired?
I need $1.
You heard what that man said? He said, because I need $1. My heart really goes out to that man because I feel that, man. Like, when you're working day in and day out, it could be so tiring. Going to sleep early just to wake up and get in traffic to go to work. Like, it's just so repetitive. It's tiring.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I understand when that man said he is tired. And son started to hug himself. And believe it or not, a lot of people are headed down the road to be just like that man.
Facts.
Because you never made any changes. Let me tell you the plan that I had that got me out of working a 9-to-5
Talk
and
to me.
finally gaining control over my life. I'd write down each one of my bills, and right beside them, I'd write down a hustle. So each hustle may be something either I did before, or maybe I could possibly do, or I could teach myself how to do it. All I knew is that whatever I was gonna do, I was gonna slowly get better at it. Because I had so many different bills, I had so many different hustles. But in my mind, it's easy to make $100 if I pick up a camera and do a photo shoot for $50 an hour. People would easily pay that. That's one booking out of the month. That'll pay my phone bill. I would go on to do this to have a hustle for each one of my bills. My biggest bill being my car note, note and my rent, or maybe I had mortgage at the time, I'm not sure. But anyways, for my car note, I figured, okay, let me get another car so then that car could pay for both of my cars and I don't have to pay for a car note. So I started doing Toro. For my mortgage, I said, okay, let me figure out how this whole Airbnb thing works. I started doing Airbnb arbitrage. I can't really say too much on YouTube how to do that, so hit me up in my Discord and I may be able to explain to y'all how I did my Airbnb arbitrage the easy way. It got to the point where these things became my hobbies. Just like how I used to play basketball when I was young, now I just enjoy making money. So when I would get off of work, I'd spend at least an hour to 2 hours of just figuring out how to improve in each one of these little businesses that I was doing. It was small improvements, but over time, it taught me by improving these skills, although my goal was just to pay my bills, the money for each one of the skills were surpassing the bill that needed to get paid. So now I have a lot of leftover money. So by giving myself the confidence of, dang, so all I had to do was have a thought and to actually execute. Now I don't have to worry about bills, which is why most of America works a job. So here I am at 29 years old and I'm doing what I love, which is making content like this, just speaking passionately. I don't have to worry about somebody saying, no, don't say it like that. Hey, make sure you're here at 5 o'clock and I'm forcing it on camera. Nah, I'm doing what I love to do, which is speak true, real stuff. Know what I mean? The stuff that the media is not saying, the stuff that we wasn't taught in school. Know what I mean? The stuff that's true to me. And by doing this, I put pressure on myself to make myself even better, to give y'all better information from me so we can learn together. But did I have excuses to do the extra work? Yes, I had mad excuses. Getting off of work, and I promise you, a lot of y'all have this excuse. You get off of work and you feel like you're tired. Poor me, time to go to sleep. I'm tired. Why? Because you just worked the whole day. Okay, so now when you look up, now you done did that for 20 years. You don't work.
All right. And he got a point too. A lot of that is when you do get off of work, like you're gonna be tired. Like you're working a job, you're working a 9 to 5. It's never gonna be easy, no matter if you're in the office or if you're in a warehouse or if you're in the oil fields, you're gonna be tired. But if you do want to escape this life, you gotta pursue something on the side where it doesn't feel like you're working a job. You have to that little energy that you have left, you gotta pour it into something, because if you water that tree, or if you water that flower, it can blossom into something beautiful. And then you don't gotta depend on a 9 to 5. You don't gotta depend on working for the white man or the black man, or working for a man or a woman or a person. You don't gotta depend on that company paying your bills, funding your lifestyle, funding your survival. You don't have to do it. You just gotta find you something, find your niche, and you gotta go 100%. You gotta go all in. You know what I'm saying? I hate to see people beat down from work. I go to a job right now where I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of older people who don't know what it's like to do anything else, because they're stuck in that lane. They're stuck in that path. And then a lot of people get to a certain age, they're like, I'm too old to even try to pursue anything else, so let me just ride out the rest of my functional life in this position. I hate to see that for them, and I would fucking hate to see that for myself, which is why we trying to go crazy on YouTube. So make sure y'all like, comment, and sub. It's been your boy RushMoreRick, and I'm out. Deuces.